Hello, I'm Paul Chrustowski, parishioner at Christ's Good Shepherd Old Catholic Church, the small church with the big heart. I'm here with your daily reading and reflection for Wednesday, December 21st, the fourth week of Advent. For today's reading, I have chosen the first reading from the Old Testament, which is a reading from the Song of Solomon, or sometimes known as the Song of Songs. It's a very short book of the Bible and quite an unusual one. In fact, one I did not really know much about until I started researching this reading and read the full book. It's essentially a song, a love poem, and the excerpt in today's reading is quite tame. It speaks to a lot of sensuality, but the entire song gets quite erotic. It describes the sensual, romantic, and sexual love between a couple in love. And I found it quite surprising to be in the Bible, but at the same time, glad that something like this was actually addressed. So, our reading. Hark, my lover, here he comes, springing across the mountains, leaping across the hills. My lover is like a gazelle or a young stag. Here he stands behind our wall, gazing through the windows, peering through the lattices. My lover speaks. He says to me, "Arise, my beloved, my dove, my beautiful one, and come. For see, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth, the time of pruning the vines has come, and the song of the dove is heard in our land. The fig trees put forth its figs, and the vines in bloom give forth fragrance. Arise, my beloved, my beautiful one, and come. O my dove in the clefts of the rock, in the secret recesses of the cliff, let me see you. Let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet, and you are lovely." So, what does this reading have to do with the fourth week of Advent? The fourth candle is the love candle, and this reading certainly speaks to one type of the human experience of love. And Jesus at Christmas is about to be born into the human experience. And this is the ultimate gift of God's love. We are so familiar with the line from the Bible, "For he so loved the world, he sent his only Son." We're very familiar with Jesus' human experience of passion and his death and his suffering from the Easter readings. But we have to remember he is God in human form, and he experienced all aspects of the humanity. The reading from the Song of Solomon invokes a lot of our senses, the sights, the sounds of a dove singing, of your beloved's voice, the fragrance of flowers in bloom. We have to keep in mind that Jesus experienced all of these sensations as well. Likewise, this story is one of love. Jesus had family and friends. He was loved. He loves. So I think that is one of the biggest connections with this week's theme. Another thing that I would like to reflect on is that this reading is actually a song. And as such, I think that perhaps there's quite a bit of accuracy in it, and as compared to some of the other books of the Bible. Why would I say such a thing? Well, we have all at some point in our lives played the telephone game, where you try to pass a spoken message down a line of people, and quite quickly the messages get degraded and distorted. But something almost magical happens when we set words to music. It becomes so much more memorable, so much easy to pass on accurately. it gets stuck in our heads and we can learn things from song. People from my generation learned a lot by watching the Saturday morning cartoons in between with Schoolhouse Rock. And anybody who is my age, if I say conjunction, junction, you immediately know what comes next because of the power for songs to get stuck in our memory. It would be interesting if we knew the melody that the Song of Solomon was actually written towards. It's important to remember that in history, before the masses could read and write, and before we had means of mass producing the written word, the history and the culture was passed on by song. And certainly at Christmas time, we are flooded with songs. We start hearing them on the radio right after Halloween. And there are so many, both religious and secular. But like the Song of Solomon and all good songs, whether it be Silent Night or the First Noel, or even Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, they tell a story, one that sticks in our memory, and one that is some aspect of Christmas love and wonder. I would like to make this reflection a little interactive, and I urge you to think about your favorite Christmas songs, religious or secular. Which ones are getting stuck in your head this season? Share it in the comments below. Why is that song resonating in your heart? What part of the Christmas story of love is it trying to tell you? Have a good week. Thank you.